I was staring at my bank app, heart racing, feeling that familiar knot of dread in my stomach. How had I, a supposedly responsible adult, blown through an entire paycheck in just 6 days? Again, I'd tried everything: elaborate spreadsheets with color-coded categories, strict zero-based budgeting apps that felt more like a chore than a tool, even those old-school envelope systems. None of it stuck. I felt like a financial failure, constantly chasing my tail, always stressed about money. It was exhausting. Then one evening, a friend challenged me with a simple question that seemed almost too good to be true. What if you only made one money decision a month? That single, audacious idea didn't just flip a switch, it completely turned my financial world upside down. Within 12 months, I'd not only wiped out $6,000 of credit card debt, but I'd also stacked a comfortable 3-month emergency cushion, and, perhaps most surprisingly, I'd stopped obsessing over every single latte. The secret wasn't some complex financial wizardry or extreme deprivation. It was elegantly simple. Automate the important stuff and honestly, just forget the rest. This isn't just a hack. It's a 3-step system I've come to call the Freedom First formula. Most budgets, if you think about it, start with bills, right? They begin by looking at what you owe, but we're going to flip that script entirely. We start with the finish line, with what you want. This isn't about deprivation, it's about intentionality. Your first step is to decide the exact dollar amount that, when it hits your dedicated savings or investment account, makes you feel genuinely safe, secure, and even a little excited every payday. For me, I landed on $250. Why that specific number? Because it comfortably covered my Roth IRA contribution, plus a small, joyful sliver for future travel adventures. There are no complicated percentages here, no confusing 50-30-20 math to wrestle with, just one fixed, clear figure you decide to treat as if it's already spent. Consider it a non-negotiable expense for your future self. Write it on a sticky note and slap it on your monitor. Set it as your phone's lock screen background, whatever keeps it front and center. If 250 feels like climbing Everest without oxygen, start smaller. Seriously, start with 25. The muscle you build by consistently prioritizing yourself matters so much more than the initial weight you lift. Once that freedom number is non-negotiable in your mind and your budget, you've essentially prepaid your future self. And when that's taken care of, everything else becomes optional noise, a delightful bonus rather than a source of anxiety. Now let's get practical. The next step is to build what I call your invisible pipeline. This means opening a second checking, or even better, a high-yield savings account at a completely different bank. Why different? Because out of sight truly is out of mind. When it comes to money, you don't want to accidentally spend. Then, and this is crucial, schedule an automatic transfer for that exact calendar day your paycheck clears. My money, for example, moves like clockwork at 6 a.m. on the 15th and 30th of every month. I'm literally still asleep, dreaming, while my biggest wealth-building action of the month happens silently in the background. Whether it's your credit union's app, Ally, Capital One 360, or whatever digital banking solution you prefer, pick one, set it up, and then here's the trick: pretend it's broken. Seriously, forget it exists. The magic here is leaving zero willpower in the equation. You don't have to remember to transfer money or decide to transfer money. It just happens. If you get a raise, great. Bump that transfer amount before lifestyle creep even has a chance to whisper sweet nothings in your ear. Got some side gig cash coming in? Funnel at least 50% straight into the pipeline. You'll adapt to the slightly smaller checking balance faster than you think because, let's be honest, humans are incredibly elastic creatures. We adjust. We always do. And here, my friends, is where the true brilliance of minimalism shines. Once your freedom number is automatically paid and your future self is taken care of, you can ditch all the tedious, soul-crushing budget categories. No more fiddling with cash envelopes, no more frantic receipt scanning, And definitely no more agonizing, should I order guac? Spirals of indecision. Your essential bills auto-pay from the leftover pool, and whatever remains after that, that's fair game. It's yours to enjoy completely guilt-free. I completely ditched traditional category tracking. Instead, I started asking myself a simple, powerful question before every purchase. Does this purchase make me smile for at least an hour per dollar spent? A $20 vinyl record that I'll spin 100 times, bringing joy with every listen? Absolutely. A $7 novelty latte with gold flakes that tastes just okay and is gone in 10 minutes? Hard pass. The psychological magic here is profound. Every swipe of your card, every click to buy, feels like a deliberate choice, not a financial crime, because you know your future is already funded. My friends thought I'd suddenly become cheap. In reality, I'd become incredibly intentional. My grocery bill stayed pretty flat, but my impulse Amazon orders, they plummeted by 80%, almost without me even noticing. That's the power of having your priorities handled first. 6 months in, I saw that credit card balance finally hit zero. It was an incredible feeling, a weight lifted I hadn't realized I was carrying. 9 months, and I actually stopped checking my account daily, that anxious habit finally broken. A year later, I took a long weekend trip to Lisbon, paid for entirely in cash from the travel slice of my Freedom Fund, and not once did I have to wonder if I'd had overdraft. The constant anxiety knot in my chest, the one that used to tighten every time I thought about money, is simply gone. Not because I'm suddenly rich, but because the system is running smoothly, reliably, while I'm out there living my life. Automation, I've learned, buys you time, and time in turn buys you options. That, to me, is the true essence of financial freedom. Waking up each morning and being able to choose your work, pursue your hobbies, and even pick the people you spend your energy on without money constantly steering the wheel. It's liberating. If you take nothing else away from this, remember this one core principle. Make one powerful decision and then make it absolutely automatic. Pick your freedom number, schedule that transfer, and then with a clear conscience, spend the rest without a shred of shame or guilt. You've earned it. Hit that like button if you want more lazy genius money hacks that actually work. Subscribe for weekly experiments in living rich with less clutter. And please drop your own freedom number in the comments below. Public accountability, even just sharing a number, can be rocket fuel for your financial journey. See you in the next one.